What's up, people? One Up Punch here. Going back to Synthetik 2 when they put out their most recent update, which is called Electrify or Energized. They had it on two different ones because their front page would say Energize and the patch notes on Steam would say Electrify. So let's go ahead and stick with Electrify since it's a little bit shorter. What did they do with this update specifically? Well, they added a bunch of new items into the game. They have Sat Handcuff, Sticky Bomb, Threat Detector, Wheels, Shield Core, Electric Net, Brondo, Cryobeam, and Fusion Mines are just a couple of them. But we'll go ahead and talk about them items later because I do have the descriptions as to what they do. They also decided to add hack databases into the game. We brought back supply hack databases with all items, weapons, shop perks, and all attachments. Collect them all and check out their details. Weapons got new stat tracking as well. Supply hack tokens are also added into the first iteration. So what a supply token is, or supply hack token is what you would do is if you put a, like it looks like an ammo box on top of a gun, and inside the weapon database, it would get 25 additional damage and then something else with it. So those tokens aren't really like something you just put on and it's got a nice like type of favorite star. It's mostly just something that gives you additional with whatever you're trying to get for your gun. They also put in the sticky bomb that you see here, the 82. And this is something that you would go and use by walking up to an enemy and touching them, or being close enough that the charge will go off and then activate afterwards. Say, for example, with the sticky bomb, allows sticking a bomb to enemy or friendly targets, which will detonate after a time delay. Bombs on enemies are optimized for single target damage, meaning that if that specific target is stuck with the bomb, that will take most, if not all, the damage. And then if anybody goes near it, say, for example, you decide to kill that unit and it didn't blow up, you will die from your own sticky bomb because that's what happened to me in a single run. That being said, the Sat Handcuffs enemies on touch, reducing mobility and fighting capabilities, can sometimes confiscate pickups. So if they have like a pickup on them, like an item or a weapon, you can pick that up after you handcuff them, which is also a nice touch. They also had the Threat Detector, can mark enemy targets, weakening and increasing damage dealt to it. Wheels summons a shield carrier wheel, providing fire support and dropping a defensive barrier on destruction. Shield Core, taking shield damage, stacks up the core, activating deals area damage based on stacks, and refreshes 1,000 shield. Electric Net fires a net which immobilizes and stagger targets. All weapon firing summons also gain the net, pushes backwards on manual activation. Brondo, which is actually a pretty nice touch. A drink, refreshing 20 seconds of ability and item cooldown instantly while boosting critical damage for a duration. The Cryo Beam activates an orbital cryo beam, continually damaging and slowing enemies in area, which is also nice. Fusion Mines deploys fusion mines on the ground, dealing area damage. Can attach sticky fusion mines close range to enemies for powerful time delay explosion with a 5-second cooldown. And those are just a couple of the items they put into the game. There are currently 20 in total items that you can go find, as well as power rations, and I think there's also some cursed items as well. But they also mess around with the Ragdoll and Decapitation. Destroying machines is more fun than ever. Enemies can be knocked around on kills, their heads detach on a headshot, or even blast the legs off. And that was something that they wanted to bring back from Synthetik 1. That was actually pretty fun. They also decided to mess with the in-game heads-up display. With the item changes and some cleanup, we were able to bring back the classic layout, bringing a more focused view of health, ammunition, and while making items more prominent. Going down the list a little bit more, they talk about supply tokens, a work in progress. You can token things in the database you unveil with the supply hack token. This token will increase the chance of the object appearing and makes it slightly more powerful. Tokens are right now limited and will be expanded upon in the coming update, where you'll be able to unlock tokens and maybe do more with them. The developers go on to talk about the older models of guns that they updated. For example, the Shorty HE Squad 6.9 SMG, Judge Honorary Revolver, LS30, MP70 Maro, Ninata, RPG-7, C80, Suba, Crowd Controller, and their newest weapon they added in the game, which is the Grom 12 Auto Shotgun, which actually goes off 3-round bursts, and it goes really fast because you only have a 12-round magazine per use of the shotgun. And the reserve is not very much. I think it's like 36 or 32. So you're going to go through that gun and all the bullets within like 5 or 10 seconds. Another new addition to Synthetik 2 is the Lost and Found chest and loot. We brought back the Lost and Found chest, remade updated items for the loot pool. These are more of bonus items which are less core to the sandbox. This pool can also be used to add fun gimmicks or other things without disturbing the main game pool. The chest can also drop random class starter with an upgraded variant. Continuing on, it says certain items now offer a secondary passive benefit. This is often the case for damage items, especially as raw damage by nature offers low combo potential. Some examples, they say, Maverick now increases damage of all attacks by 50, which synergizes well with shotguns or certain abilities such as Fusion Blast, as well as Master Key and some others. But those are just a couple of things that they decided to mess around with this update. It's got a lot of synergy builds, a lot of different custom weapon loadouts, and a lot of the areas that you would see inside for like ammunition or credits, with the addition of the lost and found chests that you could loot for starter stuff or new items. And I mean, like I said, when it comes down to finding stuff in the store, you could also buy it there. They do have cursed items, they have rare items and legendaries, and then just now with more additional stuff from Synthetik 2. The only thing I want to touch up on before the end of the video was the level changes, and they talk about it a little bit in depth. For the environments, we are still working on refining the spawn points for more engaging gameplay and high action moments. Multiple maps with too far spaced spawn points were improved, although more are upcoming. We also reworked the weakest maps of the game and gave them a stronger identity. Most notably, the power plant, Electro, has some issues which now should be greatly improved. 2 new plus 8 redesigned maps throughout buried environments, and improved spawn point placement of around 12 maps. And this was an issue with a lot of their stuff in the game. For example, you could spawn near like an elite or a headhunter, and he would just smoke you, so you would never get the chance to shoot your gun. There are other times that they would have these units be by stores, and if you spawn there, or if you went by an area that was basically defended heavily, you would just get smoked. You don't have a pistol. You wouldn't have anything else like the KSVK or the Ion Accelerator. So, I mean, that's just a nice improvement there when it comes down to the quality of life changes for Synthetik 2. That's all I have for the patch notes right now, but me personally, I've got about 5 or 6 hours into Synthetik 2's new update. I've been liking it quite a bit, and though it's not like Evolution Mega Update or the other one which was attached before this one, it's still a nice update to go back to and try new things. The Grom is pretty strong, and they do have some nice stuff with the physics and the different maps. I will say, when it comes down to Synthetik 2, there are some issues with it. I've been having a lot of slow FPS drops to where there's a bunch of units on the screen, or like it's trying to render everything and it'll crash or freeze. I still get that every once in a while. But in terms of the new additions and the different quality of life changes to the game, it does feel a lot faster. It almost feels almost similar to Synthetik 1, just more modernized. So, I mean, I could see a bunch of different things happening for it in the future. And, I mean, I didn't really check so much of the roadmap as I did the update for this, which was a couple of days ago. But that being said, I've been One Up Punch, and this has been to the video. I wanted to show off the most recent update for Synthetik 2, which is called Electrify or Energized, and what it had to offer. I'm also working on a couple other games in the mix right now. For example, I'm doing Haven Dock, Inkle Naughty, and some other early access games I picked up, like USC Counterforce and Remore Infested Kingdom. But that being said, I've been One Up Punch, like I said earlier. This has been another video. And, yeah, thanks for watching, and if you want to go ahead and give it a like, press the like button, or check out the channel for some more stuff. I'll see y'all later in the next one.